Hello friends, and welcome back to r/Tales from Retail. Today we have 4 hot stories, so let's get started. You can come, but we won't be opening the gate. This happened a couple of years ago, but I was just reminded of it. I'll set the scene. I worked at a costume shop that also sold dancewear, situated right downtown in a big city. We were pretty quiet most days, with just a few fitting appointments for dance shoes, some drag queens shopping for wigs or tights, and some SFX makeup artists picking up scab blood on an average day, excluding Halloween season when crap hit the fan. So I'd been there for around a year and was regularly opening and closing. We opened at 10 and closed at 6, so I'd sometimes do both in the same shift. That fateful day, I'd opened and was tired after a long day of busy work, organizing the giant basement storage area. It was around 5:30 at this point, and expecting to get one more customer max before close, I sent my coworkers home, leaving just me and my supervisor. As soon as they're gone, it's probably 5:45 at this point, I get a phone call. Me. Hello, store name, how may I help you? Lady. Hi, thank God I got someone. I've been calling and no one was answering. Me. That's strange, the phone wasn't ringing until just now. Lady. Well, I called and no one picked up. Me. Okay, I'm sorry about that. How can I help you? Lady. Well, now that I finally got someone on the phone, I need directions. Me. Directions to our store? We're located at... Lady. Yes, I know where you are, but I don't know where I am and how to get there. I need directions. Me. Well, I'm not sure I can help with that if you don't know where you are. I can give you directions if you can tell me the intersection you're closest to. Lady, getting mad. I told you I don't know where I am. I can't see any street signs. You should be able to direct me to your store. Me. I'm sorry you're having trouble finding us. We're located at blank and blank street near the well-known city landmark. If you can manage to find a street sign, I could let you know exactly which direction to go. Lady. I know where you are, but I don't know where I am. This isn't complicated. I need directions now. After going back and forth for a while, all the time trying to explain that I can't give directions without a start point and I don't have a GPS tracker attached to you, lady, she eventually sees the street sign and we figure out where she is and how she could get here. Keep in mind it's now 5:55 and we close at 6. Me. I'm so glad we got that figured out. Unfortunately, though, it'll take you at least 15 minutes to get here from your location, and we close in 5 minutes. Lady. Well, that's fine. I just have one thing to buy. Me. Regardless of the number of things you need to buy, we will be closed when you get here. Maybe you can come back another day. Lady. Just keep the store open for me. Me. Unfortunately, that's not possible. We are required to close the gate and the till at 6 p.m. on the dot by management. Lady. Your manager won't mind. You're making money off me. Me. The one item you want to buy isn't worth staying open past close. Lady. That's ridiculous. Just keep the gate open until I get there. It's your fault I'm late anyway. Me. I'm sorry, ma'am. How is it our fault? Lady. You didn't give me directions like I asked. If you'd just given me proper directions, I would have already arrived. Me. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm going to have to hang up now because we close in 1 minute and I need to grab the keys for the gate. Lady. Just leave the gate open for me. Me. I'm sorry, we can't do that. You can come, but we won't be opening the gate. I hang up. A few minutes after locking the gate and the door and turning most of the lights off, I'm standing at the till counting the cash in full view of the sidewalk through the gate and glass door. The lady finally arrives, 6:15 at this point, and started banging on the gate demanding to be let in. My supervisor goes out the side door and comes around to let her know we're closed, and if she continued to bang on our gate, we'd have to ask her to leave the premises. She yells at her for a few minutes before storming off. Turns out the one item she wanted to buy was a clown nose. We sold those for $1 each. Definitely profit substantial enough to keep 2 employees a quarter of an hour past close. Customer refuses to donate to charity, demands I give up my pay for it. For clarity, I live in a tiny rural town in Australia. Everyone knows each other and the local meth addict kind of town. It's completely feral, and I have many a story for that some other time. I work in a popular dollar store in said small town. I've worked there for nearly a year now, but this store has been there since I was a kid. Every year they have a charity week where all the employees collect donations, which are then sent off to a bigger charity that the store is sponsored at the end of the week. It's quite fun, and I got to dress up. I had to wear a rainbow dash-style wig, which all the kids loved. I had a system to ask for donations, to avoid it being awkward. My feral aunt/boss doesn't seem to understand the concept that people who pay with card don't often have spare change on them to give, and had a go at me for the way I did things. But hey, we still raised nearly $850 in that 1 week, so I must have done all right. Anyways, anyone who paid with cash or had a purse or wallet with them, I would ask if they would like to donate and explain to them the charity we were raising for. I can't remember the name, but it was for kids with heart diseases, which caused a lot of people to donate right off the bat. As I was working one day, rainbow wig and all, this young girl goes up to the counter, presumed mum following in tow, eyes on her phone. I'm fine with parents being on their phones. I barely get off mine, so I can relate. But she just did not even look up, not even as she was turning corners or anything. I walk over behind the counter and scan all the girl's stuff. She was so excited, clearly having just gotten out of school and had a diary and some pens. The mom sets her phone down, screen still on messages, then grabs her purse and fishes through it to pull out $20. Because she's paying with cash, I ask, would you like to donate to charity? She looked at me like I was a effing nightcrawler. This was the following exchange. Customer, what? Me. We have a donation box set up. Would you like to donate any loose change you have rattling around? Customer, why? Me, a bit dumbfounded, because it's for children with heart conditions to help them. Customer, cutting me off. Why would I give my hard-earned cash to some random cashier? Me, it's fine. You don't have to donate. I just ask everyone. Customer, giving me a hard glare. Why don't you donate? Me, I already have. We have the option to donate some of our pay to charity. It's just taken off the total when we sign. I gave $50 with everyone else. Customer, really? How much? If you really cared, you would give all your savings, but you're just some dumb kid. Thank God I had a regular who was waiting in line. She shoved her basket forward onto my counter, pushing the woman out of the way, silently giving her the biggest F.U. She just stormed off, and I put her $12 change in the donation box like I was instructed to do with everyone else. The people in line all just dumped their change from their pockets into the box. I have so many other stories of crazy city people coming to this local shop and just effing my whole day up, but this was probably one of the weirdest experiences. Customer leaves me his car keys and checkbook. So, I had a quite interesting shift yesterday. I work in a post office, and while I was helping someone, this customer comes up behind her and tries to get my attention. Customer, excuse me, sir, I need help. Me. Hi, sir, I'll just be a moment with you. I'm just helping someone. Customer, okay. So after I finish with the customer in front of him, I ask him what he needs help with, to which he explains that he needs to send out multiple checks because his mom passed away. I didn't catch the full reasoning, but I was kind of having a hard time understanding him. I tell him I'm sorry for his loss and offer him an envelope. So I handed him an envelope and a pen, and he let me take the customer behind him, which was generous, especially since there was a good line forming at this point. As I finish helping the customer that was behind him, he looks at me and sighs, getting frustrated. Customer, can you please help me fill these checks out? I need help. Where do I put my credit card number? Me, I'm sorry, sir. I don't think I can fill the check out for you. Also, I don't think you need to put your credit card number on the check. Customer, here, I need help, please. He hands me the pen, and before I know it, he's reading his credit card number out loud. Loud enough for probably half the store to hear. Me, sir, I'm sorry, but you'll have to fill the check out yourself. And also, I wouldn't advise reading your number out loud there. Customer, no, you don't understand. My mom just passed away. Me, yes, I'm sorry to hear that, but I can't do this for you. I'll try my best to guide you through, but I unfortunately can't manually write it for you. He then starts getting worked up and calls his dad, and they start yelling at each other over the phone. So this guy is standing in front of my till, and I'm trying to take customers around him while he just stands there, just yelling nonstop on the phone. It was speakerphone too. This went on for a good 45 minutes or so before he finally fills the checks out, and just before I think he's ready to send it, he asked me where to send it. Like, I'm sorry, but how do I know where you're supposed to send your checks? I explained to him that I don't have the answer to that and suggested he call the bank to figure out the address, and he did just that. Only he decided the best place to call was right in front of my counter. So now I'm trying to take customers around him again while he's yelling on the phone. Luckily, customers were understanding, but oh man, it was frustrating. The worst part, this lasted for around 2 hours. After those 2 hours, however, this customer decides to leave the store and tells me he'd be back. It was only until after he left that I realized he had left his car keys, wallet, checkbook, and glasses on my counter. I sigh and take his stuff, putting it behind me so no one takes it. He left for around 45 minutes, and during that time I was helping other customers and putting away packages that were dropped off earlier. Everything was okay until he came back. He then showed me a few addresses and asked me to write it on the envelope, so I did. Then he asked for the fastest service. And so I tell him how much it is. It was around $14, and he agrees to it. So I tell him his total, and then he begins complaining to me, saying it was too much, and I ripped him off. And so I'm just beyond frustrated at this point, but managed to keep my cool, explaining everything to him in the most professional way I can, though I'm tired of him, since he'd been there for almost 3 hours collectively. He finally gives up and hands me the money, and just when I'm about to give him his change, he starts talking on the phone again and pacing around. So I'm just standing there with his change while a young couple is waiting behind him, pretty confused. I eventually give up and put his change and receipt off to the side along with the rest of his belongings so the couple isn't waiting. Once they get up to my till, I apologize, and they're super forgiving, and just as I thought I was done with the guy, he interrupts me mid-transaction with these people to ask where his change was, to which I exchanged no words, just point at it on the counter. He lingers around my till for another 15 minutes or so, still yelling on his phone before finally leaving. I honestly am still so confused, but wow, it was quite the shift. Crazy lady doesn't know what brushstrokes are and tries to frustrate me into giving a discount. I sell art prints. In this story, I was at a convention. In my booth, I'll hang up 3 to 5 of each print packaged in clear plastic and have a few prints in frames for display. The rest of my stock I keep unpackaged under my table. The girl in my story is like 19, 20, nerdy looking, tall and lanky with dark hair and thick rimmed glasses. She talks like she's shy and nervous, but her actions say otherwise. So this girl comes up to me with a print in her hand and points to a spot and says, "This is damaged." Okay, fine, that happens sometimes when they're out. I look to where she points and see nothing. I say, "I don't see anything," but she assures me there's a speck. I figure maybe my eyesight sucks, so I thank her, grab the print, and put it under the table to examine more carefully later and possibly fix. She pauses for a second, like waiting for me to say something else, and then turns around and goes back to where the others are hung up. She grabs the 2 remaining and stares closely at each print. She puts her face like half an inch from each print, and her breath fogs up the package. She brings them up to me and says, "These are damaged too." I again see nothing. I take them out of the plastic to show her. Maybe she's seen something on the plastic. Nope, she still sees specks, allegedly in different places on each print. I try to explain to her that she might be looking at brushstrokes, but no, she assures me they're all damaged. At the time, I thought she was just picky. In hindsight, I'm pretty sure she was trying to get a discount for a damaged product. When she started this game, she probably didn't realize I don't put up all my product, and I have hundreds of prints in stock. You'd think me pulling up a heavy box full of prints would make her reevaluate her plan, but no, she was determined AF. This chick made me individually go through my entire effing stock, like 70 prints, examining each print like some effing art detective. Each time nervously laughing and saying, "Sorry, I'm sorry." Each one had something wrong with it, something only she could see. A corner is bent or frayed. You won't see it in the frame, no. It's scratched. I'm pretty sure that's a brush stroke and part of the picture. Feel it. You can't feel a scratch. No. There's a mark on it. It's coated. You can just wipe it off. No. There's a fingerprint on it. That's because I just touched it. It wipes off. No. There's a speck. That's part of the picture. No. I wanted to so badly tell her to get the F out of my booth. After 40 minutes of this, we get to the last print, and of course she says there's something wrong with it, then looks at me expecting me to come up with some solution to her imaginary problem, to offer her a discount because somehow all my products are damaged and nobody but her has ever noticed. I just said, "Oh well," and started putting the prints away. She paid full price for the third print I showed her. I did not offer a business card or ask if she'd like the artist to sign it. That was r/Tales from Retail. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and see you soon.